Hello, the Buckos. Captain Bucko is here. Back for another review, Buckos.
You ain't got the juice to get past the road.
Yeah,
Let me in.
I did say I was
Give a fuck.
going to come and
No one
get
gets in
Rage
here who
2.
isn't rich or famous.
I've lived up to my
You're
promise now.
Come
and I
on.
got it.
There's gotta be a way.
And well, Buckos,
Get in by winning.
I'm going to dive into now with my review.
Mutant Bash TV and
I'll tell you
with
all
the
about it.
Chance Car Derby.
So I've had it now for
Become a
about
champ. Easy peasy.
2 weeks.
Someone as tough as you,
Got it
right?
pretty much about 3 days after it come out.
You make yourself a champ.
Had a very good
You
go
can
at it
just
now.
waltz on in and meet the man himself.
Progressed a fair way into the game.
Not for you.
And I feel I can do a fairly thorough review on this game, actually. Alright, now let's start with all the great things about
Any
this
luck?
game.
You get past
The
that
graphics
bound
on this
fella at
game,
the door?
There's a way in.
really,
Gotta go kill the shit out of
really
some muties on
impressive.
TV and grind some metal in the race.
I especially like the graphics on the camps
Become a champ. Should be a
and some of the
breeze.
places around on the map. The map itself,
Let's
the scenery
hope
can be
you've
a
got
bit
what it
bland.
takes. Those shows eat up folks like
Maybe take
gobbling
a
down peanuts.
point off it
I'm adjusting
for that one thing. The scenery on the map is a little bit bland,
It's painstaking work.
but it makes up for it
Centimeters in any direction.
in the camps with the amount of detail and different traders and stuff you can see and do in the camps. It's incredible.
You have endless potential. And
Now,
most folks just come here to get a limb replacement or a cool
some other great things about this game, apart from the graphics, which are really, really good. I'm actually running this also on my new NVIDIA 20 series card, which has ray tracing on it. And I feel that this game, from what I can read, it did have ray tracing enabled on it. And I've tried it on both my computers. This is the PC version. I've played it on my GTX 1080 and my RTX 2070, and it definitely looks a lot better on the new 2070. The ray tracing
You there?
really does make a difference to the graphics, Buckles.
Filthy gun
In
hand
fact,
for hire.
if you're going to buy
Later.
the next gen console, and I know you all are, Sony have now come out and said that the PS5 is going to have ray tracing on it. It's going to feature the new AMD Navi card, which is coming out in July. So I imagine that the PS5 will be looking pretty much like what my PC is doing, which is an AMD 8-core Ryzen CPU and a NVIDIA 2070 RTX. It's a really good combination, and it plays 4K
Activating.
absolutely flawlessly at 60 frames per second. The PS5, if it uses the same configuration, is going to be really, really flash, Buckles. Okay, now as you can see now, I've jumped into my car. Now what does this look like, Buckles? What game does this look like? You're probably all thinking, it looks a lot like Mad Max, Buckle. Yep. It's unfortunately another thing I'm going to have to minus a point off. They have really stolen a lot of things out of Mad Max. You remember in Mad Max you get the convoys that go around and there's like a leader and you got to knock off the other ones behind him before you can take the leader out. Well, same concept. Almost exactly the same. You get convoys that run around, there's a leader. The only difference is that Mad Max wasn't really a lot of range of weaponry. Whereas this got all sorts of guns and bloody things. You can upgrade your cars, you can get different cars, you get tanks, you can get all sorts of stuff. So definitely a big improvement on Mad Max. Wouldn't even compare the two games actually. Despite the fact there's some similarities, there's really too much different to compare it. Alright, moving on from that though. Still am going to minus a point off for it though, because I think that they did steal some of it. The actual game itself, well, it's a first person shooter. It's for this reason I like, I'm the sort of person, when it comes to first person shooters,
Loose 'em and monitoring the Mutant Bash TV arena.
I much prefer to play on a keyboard and a mouse. I find the mouse much more precise to move
Be careful.
than a control on your PlayStation or your Xbox. I just can't play first-person shooters on a controller. I need a keyboard and a mouse. So when it comes to first-person shooters, I really do now only get them on PC. There's a lot of standard type stuff which you find in almost all games now, like you do quests and missions, and you got to work out where to go, what's the next bit you got to do, what's the next step, flip a knob over, punch a button, hit a switch, pick up something, take this here, drop that there. Standard type stuff there now that we're seeing in nearly every single game that comes out. I wouldn't say this game has broken any bounds of originality, except when it comes to bits like this. Now this is impressive, this bit. You actually have to go in and be on a TV show. There's some funny things in this game. It's quite a comical sort of a game, I might add. There's a lot of comical elements to it.
Yes, you stranger.
Sort of not meant to be taken all that serious.
Say it is so.
But yes, they've got this TV show.
You've wandered here
The
from
whole
the
world
dark
still
city
reminds me of Mad
streets and
Max.
into this,
It's set after an
boudoir
apocalypse,
of pleasure
and the
to
apocalypse
join
is
our
taken
little
out.
game,
All the cities,
because you
civilization has
have
been
hunger in
wiped
your
out. In
eyes.
fact, if I remember right, I believe it was an asteroid that hit the planet and wiped everything out.
Is it a hunger for the
Plausible?
promises of the
Maybe. Would society go like this?
I present you with?
Who knows, Bucko?
A thirst, perhaps.
Maybe.
For
Humanity is a strange species,
of wines.
but I don't think we're quite as
Or
strange
maybe
as what the game
the
portrays us
insatiable
as.
hunger of the
But
true
anyway,
connoisseur. The lust.
am I enjoying the game? Oh yes. Will I persist and finish this game? You know what?
The promise.
I have to admit something to you all. As much as I
Allow us to
liked
sate
Mad
your
Max, I
hunger
never
for the
actually
kill,
finished the game. I got about 80% through it, and it was just the grind. I was doing the same things over and over and over, and I got sick of it and I stopped. And unfortunately, that's a common theme for me in many games, that if I have to grind at it
And now,
and grind and
sweet
grind,
young
I will
thing,
just simply
your
get sick
journey
of
to
it,
stardom
and I don't bloody finish
shall
it.
commence.
Now with this game, I'm finding it's got enough new sort of challenges and elements in it to basically keep me going. I actually can see myself finishing the game. I do like first-person shooters. I did actually finish Far Cry 5, even though I wouldn't say it was the greatest Far Cry, but I'm a fan of the Far Cry series. I also, in my opinion, the greatest Far Cry game was actually Far Cry Primal, which is a game I absolutely love. And for me, that's a 10 out of 10 buck teeth. I really loved it, and I finished it, and just actually, when I finished it, I was sorry to finish it. I wanted more. And I really hope that one day they make a Far Cry Primal 2, because I'll definitely get it. I loved it that much. I thought it was very original with all the taming of the animals and stuff like that. But anyway, this has a lot of elements of Far Cry in it too. I believe I'm going to stick with this game until I finish it. What I'm doing here now, Buckos, is the TV scene where you have to make yourself famous to appear in a TV show. So you've got to go through the rounds. I'll tell you what, it was bloody hard. I should actually also touch on that aspect of the game, the difficulty. While it may look easy, because Bucko's skill is extreme, I know. I make everything look easy, but trust me, it's bloody not. This is a fast action game. You need to be bloody quick. You have to have good reflexes. I find that my strategy to get through bits is to hide. I hide around a corner, shoot a guy, quickly move, get around another corner, shoot another guy, quickly move again, and just keep doing that. And that seems to be my tactic on how I finish things. Now we'll talk about the weapons also in the game. So far I've only got the 3 unlocked. There's a lot of upgrades and purchases and add-ons, and you can even like upgrade how the weapon works, from having more quicker reload or more bullet capacity, stuff like that. You can upgrade different aspects of the weapons. A lot of upgradable parts and stuff you can get. You can upgrade your car, you can upgrade different cars. You have an ability, I should also add, when you press I think it's Control V, you go into like a how can I explain it? Psycho mode, I guess, where your bullets and everything cause maximum damage. And yeah, usually like 1 or 2 shots and they blow to bits. Wouldn't say it's the most goriest game I've ever played, but there's a fair amount of blood and guts in it, Buckles. So that'll make you happy if you like that sort of thing. I know I do. I get a sense of satisfaction when I see bodies flying to pieces and bits and pieces of guts all coming out. I think there's not enough of it. So anyway, what else can I say about it before I finish up on my review? You get a health pack as well. You can hear it when you get damaged. Your heart starts to beat hard, and that's how you know you're about finished. So you've got to hit T and quickly jab yourself and get your health back up. Some of the bosses are incredibly hard. My advice is, I'm actually playing this on normal mode, I should add. If you're not like a pro gamer and don't spend hours and hours and hours playing bloody first-person shooter games, I would suggest with this one, I hate to say this, but maybe start on the easy level. Alright, well there's a lot of effects also when you shoot things. Oh, as you can see, like the gun. Alright, this is the psycho mode I was telling you about, right? Now notice how much damage that just did when I shot him. It literally blew him into tiny bits. They're suicide bombers. That you shoot them, if you're too close, when you shoot them they blow up and give you a lot of damage. Alright, I'm going to finish off my review now. Look at the guts, Buckles. Alright, that's the end of the psycho mode. What am I going to give this game? Drum roll. This is going to be a 9 out of 10, Buckles. Yeah, yep. So far, I'm going to say that this is so far the best game that's come out in 2019. Like for me, I've got a few other ones, and I'll tell you what, they haven't been up to the same standard as this. This is really, really impressive. Highly recommended. So yeah, 9 out of 10 Buckos. The only reason I'm not giving it a 10 is because I do believe they stole quite a lot of the concept with the car and the landscape and that. Even like the towers you got to destroy. It's all from Mad Max. So 1 point off for that. Everything else is spot on. Alright, Buckos. Stand by for some more reviews. I've got Tom Clancy's The Division 2 now, and I'm having a good play on it. So stand by for a review on that one next. And hope you've enjoyed it. This is Captain Bucko signing out. Take care of your teeth.